Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tech Daily. This is your daily source for all of the day's tech news, social media tech, mobile tech, everything in a bite-sized form factor. It's just 10 minutes long at the most. Promise you, won't go over 10 minutes. Today we got a lot to cover. Let me tell you real quick what this is about. This is our beta test. We're doing a couple beta tests here again tomorrow until we decide to go into full production with it. If we do go into full production with it, that'll be on Monday, March the 12th. So we'll have that then for you. I want a lot of interaction with the show, so you can check us out live, usually at 7 p.m. if we end up doing it consistently. Right now it happens to be about 6 p.m. Eastern time, but you can jump into the chat room there. You can use hashtag TechDaily on Twitter to get in touch with me, and we will have some awesome conversations there, and as well as getting your opinions. All of the stories that we talk about in Tech Daily, we expand upon on Status Update, our weekly technology news show on Sundays here at Red Time Media. That's at 7 p.m. on Sundays. Check that out, redtie.tv/SU. Let's get into some of the news today, starting out with the iPad. Not surprisingly, the iPad came out yesterday, and already we are seeing some shortages in terms of what's available from Apple already. Pre-orders were open directly following the announcement, and it looks like they were pretty successful. Select models of the AT&T variant of the iPad are seeing slight delays in their shipping dates, suggesting a shortage in supply. Specifically, the white version of the 16GB and 64GB AT&T iPad have seen their shipment dates pushed back to March 19th, 3 days after the March 16th launch date. All of Verizon's models will ship on March 16th, so if you're in the market for a new iPad, if you're going to go out and buy an iPad 3, the beautiful Retina display, and you're looking for a white version of the 16 or 64 gig on AT&T, order quick because they're going to be pushed back until March 19th. The early sales response provides a quick, if a bit premature, glimpse into which carrier customers are looking at. AT&T might get the leg up. However, if those AT&T customers do get their iPads, they may be a little disappointed because as of right now, CNET is reporting that only Verizon will support the hotspot feature on iPads. So the iPad came equipped with 4G LTE on Verizon and AT&T, and it has a hotspot feature. If you don't know what that is, it essentially allows your tablet, your iPad, to work as a router, so it can share its 4G network with up to X number of devices. It's usually about 5 devices. You can buy little MiFi hotspots for Verizon and AT&T. You can also use your phone as a hotspot on Verizon and AT&T. It usually costs more, but Verizon will include it in the data price for the iPad, which is pretty cool. They're the only carrier that will provide it off the bat in the U.S. AT&T will not provide the hotspot functionality immediately. They did say in a statement through spokesman Mark Siegel, quote, "We are working with Apple to enable this feature in the future, but we currently do not offer it." Verizon, on the other hand, says, yes, we currently have hotspots on other tablets, and we will continue to support it. We will support the iPad mobile hotspot at launch. So if you're an AT&T or Verizon customer looking for that hotspot functionality on the tablet and you're going to get an iPad, Verizon's the way to go right now. No word on when AT&T will support that particular feature, but it will be sometime in the future. Other big news today, and also concerning Apple, the Justice Department, this is according to the Wall Street Journal, has warned Apple and 5 of the biggest U.S. booksellers that it plans to sue them for allegedly colluding to raise the price of ebooks, according to people familiar with the matter. If successful, such a settlement could have wide-ranging repercussions for the industry, potentially leading to cheaper ebooks for consumers. The 5 publishers facing a potential suit are CBS Corp's Simon & Schuster, SCA's Hachette Book Group, Pearson PLC's Penguin Group, and then a German company that I cannot pronounce, so I won't even try, and then HarperCollins Publishers, Inc., a subsidiary of News Corp. Basically, what's going on here, just to give you kind of a quick overview, a gloss over, is that previously how it worked when you would publish a book, you would sell it to the bookseller for half of the MSRP, half of the retail price, and then they would make their money up the other way. Now, what happened when it came into ebooks is Apple negotiated with booksellers and said, we'll do this what's called agency model, which is you set the price of the book, whatever you want it to be, we'll take 30% of it, and that's our take. Apple kind of went into this with the booksellers, and Steve Jobs in the biography of him kind of said, other sellers, Amazon will follow suit with this. We know this is going to cause a higher price, but this is just what we see as the easiest route to do it. And the Justice Department is saying, well, this is kind of fixing the price. This is making ebook prices higher than they need to be, artificially higher than they need to be. The interesting thing to note here is usually cases like this would have something called a consent decree, which is that would keep it out of court, which would basically say, we agree on these set conditions, we agree on a particular fine, and that's it. Wash our hands with it, and we're good to go. No need to go to court. The idea that the Justice Department is saying we might sue Apple is maybe a sign that this consent decree didn't work out as planned, and it didn't go as planned, and it didn't happen, and so this will go to court. So this comes the day after the iPad is announced. An interesting thing that might happen with Apple and the 5 biggest book publishers. Of course, this is far from anywhere near going into court proceedings. It's just the Justice Department saying we might do this, kind of bringing it to light. We'll follow the story for you and see how things turn out. In social media news today, Twitter's brand pages, which launched a little while ago, you could have, if you were a brand, you could have a specific page. It really didn't give you all that much functionality, except for you could feature a tweet, you could have different banners here and there, whatnot. Twitter's brand pages will be enhanced this year to let marketers offer e-commerce contests and sweepstakes, according to a report. This is from Mashable. The new pages will let app developers, quote, build experiences on Twitter much the way they do on Facebook, according to Advertising Age, which cites 3 executives familiar with the matter. Twitter hasn't set a date on when the new pages might appear, but it is telling marketers to expect them this year, the report says. Interesting that you could be then sponsoring contests and sweepstakes through Twitter. I do know there are specific regulations on raffles and giveaways and things like that, so I'm curious how this plays into it all, if anybody out there knows. I don't for sure. But Twitter realizing that contests and sweepstakes are a big part of the Twitter platform and social media in general, and taking heed with that and kind of incorporating that into their new brand pages. Other interesting study out today is that Pinterest, the social sharing site. If you're not familiar with Pinterest, it's a site where you can basically go and share all the information you'd like. Is now driving more traffic to online publishers than Twitter, according to third-party measurement data. It's an impressive feat considering Pinterest has 11.7 million users to Twitter's over 100 million users. The data was provided by Shareaholic, whose sharing widgets are across more than 200,000 websites. In February, the company found that a little less than half, 48% of all traffic, came from Google, followed by Facebook at 6%, Yahoo at 1%, StumbleUpon at 1.3%, Bing at 1.2%. Pinterest came in 6th at 1.05%, beating out Twitter at 0.82%. Pinterest is growing rapidly, and it is definitely a situation where people just disseminate and share a bunch of information and links back to blogs. So interesting that Pinterest already beating Twitter in terms of linking games, which is kind of what Twitter's specialty is, or at least what a lot of people thought it was. So that's interesting. I'd like to hear your comments on that in the comment section of the video, or audio post for this, or tweet me at Jacob Bodner. If you have anything you'd like to tell me about today's show, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, tweet me at Jacob Bodner. Comments in the video section below. We'll be back on Friday, tomorrow, with another edition of Tech Daily. Check us out every day of the week if we decide to do it. Let me know what you think of this beta episode by emailing me at jacob@redtie.tv, tweeting me at Jacob Bodner, and check out Status Update on Sunday or Monday. We haven't decided this week, but check redtie.tv for the latest show times. We will elaborate on all of this news and so much more at Status Update. And you can check us out on Twitter at Status Update RTM. Until tomorrow, have a good one.